What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here for 1077 The Bone. Joining me is someone I've been wanting to interview for a very long time. It's Mike Herrera from MXPX. How's it going, Mike?
So, Baby Huey, how we doing out there?
Dude, I am super excited. Like I said, it's I was thinking about this. Like, I've been at the radio station 1077 The Bone for over 20 years now. I've been very lucky, like I said, interview so many bands, artists, everyone over the years. But you're like one of the few people, as a fan, longtime fan of MXPX, that I've not had a chance to talk to. So I really do appreciate you making the time this morning.
Of course, man. I think we met years ago.
Okay.
You
Okay, we did actually. Okay, I was saving this for later, but I can go ahead.
No, I mean, whatever
Okay.
you want to do.
Okay, so all right, I was going through the archives of my photo album stuff. So technically, you and I both met each other summer 2002. Vans Warped Tour was at Piers 30 and 32 in San Francisco. I just graduated high school that year, so it was like a month after my high school graduation. I believe it was day 2, because back then Warped Tour, I think, used to do 2 days, and I was double checking online, everything. But I was with my brother, and we were walking around the piers, and I saw you and Tom over by this chain link fence, like was like the artist side. And I was like, oh my God, I need to get a photo with him. And back then we had disposable cameras and whatnot. So I was like, I told my brother, take a photo of me. So I just ran up to you guys on the other side of the chain link fence. I was like, hey, my name's Danny. Hey, can I get a photo with you guys? Is that okay? And you guys were very gracious. So yes, there's a photo almost 24 years ago. And Tom as well. So shout out for my outfit that day. I was going for the Billy Joe Armstrong Woodstock 1994 look, the black shirt with the red tie with the question mark on it. So I was trying to be punk rock that day.
Shout out to Baby Huey doing this thing on the radio for 20 years. Like anything for 20 years, you guys. Yeah. That's special. That's not something that is easy to do by any means. So yeah, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
San Francisco area, the Bay.
I know. Well, okay, so let's talk about this real quick. This weekend, big weekend, finally, MXPX is returning to the Bay Area of 2 shows in Northern California with the Ataris. You're going to be at the Catalyst Club in Santa Cruz this Friday, January 23rd, and then this Saturday, January 24th, at the Fillmore in San Francisco. So for tickets, just go to mxpx.com. Everything's right there, one-stop shopping. So, Mike, I was trying to look online. Is this the first time you're back in San Francisco performing with MXPX since 2007? Does that sound right to you?
I mean, nothing sounds right to me. Yeah, I mean, it's been so long, and there's been so many times where people are like, come to San Francisco, come to San Francisco. Yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it. It just didn't work out for many, many years for this reason, that reason, whatever it is. And I'm pretty sure, people that pay attention to Tom, our guitar player, Tom Wisniewski, he has been asking us to do a show at the Fillmore in San Francisco for years because it's his favorite venue. Last time we were there, we were one of the main supports for Joe Strummer on one of his last tours he ever did.
That's awesome.
Escaleros. We got to meet Joe, got to see those guys play. It was a great experience to have at the Fillmore for one, but it's been way too long. So we're coming back. We've been to the Fillmore headlining as well. Yeah. But it's been, like you said, 2007 probably. It's been insane. So
yeah, this is on setlist.fm. I was trying to look up on there, and it looks like that last time was at Slim's back in the day. RIP, legendary venue Slim's. I missed that venue.
Ah, yes. Slim's
so
was
much
great too.
Miss Slim's. But okay, so I do have one request, Mike, for this weekend. Please, when you play San Francisco specifically, do not wear any Seattle Seahawks gear on stage. Please. Please.
No, I'm not going to do that. That would be dangerous, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are a little salty about Seattle right now in San Francisco. But we're not from Seattle. We're from Bremerton, everybody.
But hey. A couple weeks. I mean, my buddy Miggs from 99.9 KISW in Seattle, he texted me a photo a few weeks ago. You guys play like hometown show. You're wearing a Seahawks jersey on stage, man. So
in Seattle. It was Seattle. So I couldn't help it.
I'm still so butthurt right now from that game. It was just terrible. I go to all the Niner home games. So our radio station, The Bone, we're also the flagship for the Niners. So I go to every single home game. I'm out there. And yeah, I was hoping I was hoping we were gonna get the 1 seed and like enjoy home games from here on out. Needless, come to find out, that last game of the season was our last time at Levi Stadium this year. So
Yeah.
I'm hurt. So
Condolences to the fans out there, the 49ers fans. Sorry, y'all. Hey, I can't help it that I'm Pacific Northwest, born and raised. But we're gonna come together. We're gonna bring the people together.
Okay. Yeah.
Seattle and San Francisco, we're coming together this weekend. The show's almost sold out. So if you want to go, don't wait. Get those tickets. But I swear, I will be respectful to y'all. I'm not going to talk down. I'm not going to talk ass, all that, you know. So, yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Because, like, you know, hey, the Super Bowl will be here in a couple weeks, technically, in the Bay Area at Levi Stadium. So maybe the Seahawks. I don't know who to root for at this point. Seahawks or Rams. Like, I'm torn. NFC West. But, I mean, maybe I'll go with Seahawks because it's for you. Then I'm supporting Mike Herrera. I will do that. Exactly.
I got a lot of friends that are San Francisco fans, and they all were texting me like right before the game, and they're like, "All right, you want to bet?" Because we always bet, you know, $20 or something. And I'm like, you know what? I'm on my laptop. My phone was stolen. I was watching the game. Phone stolen. Made it happen. But I'm texting my friends on Messenger instead of, you know, on my phone.
Yeah.
And hey, if I have to get my phone stolen for the Seahawks to go to the Super Bowl every year, I guess that's a small price to pay.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll say this. No Seahawks jerseys. That's fine. But I will admit you are looking sharp right now. So for anyone who don't know, we were supposed to record about an hour and a half ago, but you got a last minute haircut appointment. So I will admit, I appreciate the effort of you looking very nice and sharp this weekend for the show. So I'm glad you got a haircut today.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a dire situation because, you know, Monday was a holiday, and then tomorrow is Wednesday. Is this live? Are we doing this live or is
no? I'll post it. I'll post it later today.
Okay, so so tomorrow's Wednesday, and everything's closed where I get my hair done, and so first world problems, people. I had no appointment. I was about to panic, and then my buddy got me in, just like a little 15-minute squeaker, and so here I am. Boom.
I love it. Looking, got the fade going. Well, you got the mohawk, but also like the fade and everything. I respect that. I get my haircut every 2 to 3 weeks, so it's I respect, you know, looking clean every time I have a big event. I mean, with my barber, I have my like next few appointments already lined up, especially with the Super Bowl. Probably gonna do a lot of Radio Row stuff out there, just all that madness going on. But I was thinking about, you know, you getting a haircut, and it got me thinking, you know, you've had a lot of different looks over the years, different haircuts. You grew your hair out, you cut it short, you had it, you know, in your face for a while there. When you look back at a lot of your looks, is there a look in particular you really loved and one you were like, what was I thinking at that time?
You know, it's funny because there are looks that I tend to be like, okay, that was a little funky, but now in retrospect, I don't regret anything. I would say the worst thing that I've ever done was I allowed during a photo or it was a video shoot.
Yeah.
I allowed the makeup artist to like do me up, and I didn't really like look in the mirror after. And she's like, "Don't worry, it's not gonna look like you have makeup on. It'll just, you know, smooth everything out, right?" And we're on location in the desert, you know, so it's like we're not in a, you know, I think this is Panic era, 2005-ish or something in there. And we get the video back. Sure enough, you can definitely see that there's makeup on my face. And I'm just like, well, what are you going to do? I just felt like I'm before my time, you know?
Yeah.
But that's probably the worst thing that I feel is the makeup situation. But like, that taught me a lesson to never believe anybody. Don't believe what people tell you.
Exactly.
You gotta check for yourself.
Okay. No, right. I respect that. It's I'm with you because like growing up, I will admit, like the cool thing about you, and I was talking to some friends, like, hey, I got this interview with Mike coming up. I'm super stoked. Like, you know, real talk, like, you know, I am legit longtime fan. You know, I got all the CDs and everything. So it's like when I saw, first off, you guys were coming to town, I was like, I need to do an interview. And then shout out your guitarist, Tom. I DM'd him. I was like, hey, who should I contact for an interview? And he responded right away. And so we got this all set up. And then, but like, you know,
man, you're giving away the secrets.
I
Tom's
know.
the key to everything, right?
Yeah, don't flood his DMs, people. But but the thing, like, I was looking back at you, like you said, really are one of my favorite rock stars because I always thought you had that cool swagger to you, man. Like, you know, as hell, when I was 18 years old, watching you guys at Warped Tour back in '02, like, I just love like the look, the presentation. You know, at the time you're wearing just a lot of just like different sports tees. I think when you're in the Bay Area that one weekend, you had an old San Jose Sharks shirt on and you know, like Dickie pants and Chucks or Vans. But it was just always slick. It was like, it seemed like very simple, but yet such swagger for yourself. And like the hairdo, I was like, oh, I wish I could look cool as Mike. Like that was my big thing. Always I want to look cool as you. For you, like, you know, where did that come from, man? Is that just naturally who you are? Or is that like, you know, kind of like you had to work to get to that point of your rock star presentation on stage?
That's a good question because I don't know what the right answer here is. You know, we went through a lot of phases, like we were just talking about. You know, there's long hair, short hair, baggy clothes. Like if you look at clips from us starting out, everything's Dickies, everything's baggy pants, baggy shorts, long socks, Chucks, Vans. You know, I think, you know, we were into skateboarding culture. We were I was into skateboarding from an early age, 5th grade. I think I started skateboarding and, you know, I would go out on tour and in between, you know, after sound check, like we had sound checks back then, I don't even remember, but we'd have all afternoon. So I just had my skateboard. I'd be cruising around. But you know what? Mike Ness from Social D, that was somebody I looked up to as far as like, that dude's got swagger, you know? And I wrote Chick Magnet. I mean, it's not about Mike Ness, but it's got some like Mike Ness vibes to it, you know? Like I was definitely kind of thinking about a guy like that, you know, like, because Mike Ness, everybody loved, all the ladies loved him. They were always just swooning over him, you know? So, we all come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny you say that because like I was thinking back, like, okay, when did I first discover MXPX? And it really was when Chick Magnet came out. Because I remember I fell asleep one night and had the TV on. It was on MTV. I woke up in the middle of the night and sure enough, it was your music video for Chick Magnet that started playing. And I was like, who's this? And me as a kid growing up in the Bay Area, loving punk rock, I love the Bay Area punk scene, the history, which I want to talk about with you in a second. You know, obviously Lookout Records, Gilman, all that stuff. And so I see this band on MTV that's like, looks like and sounds like a band that I would be into. So it was just, and I was like, what? And I was like, you know, rubbing my eyes, like, who's this? Oh, MXPX. Okay. And like, it opened my doors to like more bands like that sound I was interested in. So I really want to get nostalgic with you for a second here. So going back to that time period, one, did you know how special that was, the music industry was at the time? Because me as a fan, I felt like there was so much to absorb from obviously growing up, you know, born in the 80s, but like growing up in the 90s, the grunge into the mid 90s, like punk rock revival, if you want to call that, you know, Green Day to Rancid, Offspring, you guys, and then obviously Blink-182, Newfound Glory, Sum 41, Good Charlotte, like in the early 2000s. Did you know like something special was going at that time with alternative rock, punk rock, the music industry as a whole? Did you, like living through that? Yeah. Did you know it was something really cool going on?
Well, I'm sure we had an inkling that this was like a movement happening. But to be honest, like we're small town kids that grew up, you know, listening to punk bands and once we got into punk, you know, I just remember like the first show that I went to that was a big show was U2, and it was the Zoo TV tour. The Pixies opened. It was at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, and that was a thing. But I was just kind of getting into music at the time, and then I also went and saw like the band All. Some people know them as the Descendants with a different singer, but All was playing Seattle at the OK Hotel. I went to see that show. I was in maybe 7th grade, something like that. And I didn't realize that, I mean, of course, there's differences between the Tacoma Dome and OK Hotel, but
Yeah.
when you're just listening in your room, when you're just listening to the music, before I went to those shows, I thought the band All was as big as U2. I didn't realize the difference of popularity happening. So for me, when I was following punk bands, to me, I'm following the biggest bands in the world. These are
Yeah.
bands that everybody knows that I just discovered.
Hmm.
I assume I was the last one to know about punk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think as I'm finding punk rock and then starting to write my own songs from
Yeah.
the heart and from not realizing, oh, there's a game to be played. Don't say exactly how you feel,
Yeah. Yeah.
say how you think they want you to feel. So
Okay.
I was just so honest with my music, and I didn't realize that there is a big difference between mainstream music
Yes.
and sort of just everyday everybody in their basement kind of trying to make it happen. But we were in our garages, we were in basements, we were doing it as if we were in the mainstream. Like we just
Mm.
didn't know to be naive. We were not so naive. We didn't know that we weren't going to be as big as everybody else, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Chili Peppers over there, sure, we're going to be as big as them. So to me, it was just a foregone conclusion that if we just start writing songs, start playing shows, start putting out albums, start touring, that's just what you do, and eventually you become this big band. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
worked, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really an amazing time. And listen, I get it. I think for anyone listening right now, you always think your childhood was the best childhood. I think there's that bias there. But like it really, like I try to tell like younger people, younger listeners I meet and stuff, like the 90s was really a special time. Because I really felt like it was the last time, we got music and figured out music the old school way, like radio, MTV, going to a local record store. And I just love like going to like the Warped Tour, and like I was exposed to so many bands. I'm like, oh my God, MXPX over here, Less Than Jake over here. Obviously Green Day at one point, Rancid, Hometown Show. It was always like an amazing experience. I even like Newfound Glory and stuff. Like, so did you like, were you able to enjoy that time? I mean, it's tough to say in retrospect, but like, obviously you're living in the moment. You're just going from, show to show, playing. But were you able to enjoy any of that at that time and realize how special that all was?
I don't know if I realized how special it was, but I definitely enjoyed my time.
Okay.
And so much so that sometimes I think back to the way I used to tour and spend my days.
Yeah.
And I always go, wow, I didn't work that much. Like I wasn't like constantly making videos and photos and like writing songs. And, I was writing songs, but the thing is like, we didn't have that business thing that we do now. Like now that we have social media and have all these influencers sort of like showing you the way, we didn't have that. So like, we definitely enjoyed it. But like I said, we didn't have the cameras on us. We didn't have the video. We didn't have the foresight to realize, oh yeah, you probably should be filming all of this stuff. Now and again, of course, there's shows that are on video, but I definitely can say we really had the best time. We really did. We had so much fun. In fact, Tom was constantly, our guitar player, constantly in the back playing Madden, playing video games. And I was always like on him, like thinking about like, dude, you should be doing something more with your time.
Yeah.
And not realizing that I also, even though I was doing more than Tom was also not doing enough with my time. And that's totally fine in retrospect. Like we shouldn't put today's standards on yesterday.
Okay.
I think as we learn, as we grow, then we can put those new standards on tomorrow. So yeah.
What does it mean for you though, that like so many bands, especially I remember like, junior, senior, high school for myself, and then college years for myself, like a lot of bands were influenced by you guys and would cite you as an influence. I mean, hell, like you were in a Day to Remember music video, kicking open, one of your vans and singing in the video, nice little cameo there. But what does it mean for you that MXPX had such a big influence on so many of the pop punk and alternative bands from the last 20, 25 years?
It's a warm fuzzy, you know, it's a warm fuzzy right in there. But at the end of the day, it's like it's hard. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't feel. It's like when I'm up on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people and they're all
Yep.
singing the songs. Like I'm kind of taking it in. I'm thinking that's cool, but I'm also just like I'm singing and I'm doing this thing. You know, it's like it's not an autopilot thing because I'm very focused on the moment. And
Yeah.
so, yes, I take it all in. Uh, but it's hard to take it all. You can't think of like trying to eat two meals at once. Like you just ate, and then somebody brings you a full, 5-course meal.
Mhm.
You can't fit it all in. You want to. This is so delicious. The steak is so good. Whatever it is, you can't fit it all in. So like I feel like I'm just full and bursting on emotions, on nostalgia, on all the energy that people bring to the shows. It is amazing to see parents with their kids, with their
Yeah.
children, their adult children, their teenage children. It's wild, man. Like we get glimpses of that and it's almost too much to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then that's really great to hear. I love hearing that stuff and just reflecting. Even as I just turned 42 a couple months ago, and like I think the older I'm getting, obviously, I'm just getting more nostalgic, and I'll just like have any downtime, I'll look back and think of like just all the great bands and shows I've been to. So, you guys, needless to say, I'm super excited because I really do think the last time I saw you guys live was in 2002 at that Warped Tour. So I'm super excited. I'm planning on going to both nights. Santa Cruz, San Francisco, just sing along to all those songs. It's really going to be amazing. You guys, though, your history with the Ataris, though, you guys go way back with them. One thing I've always been kind of didn't know the full information about was, okay, Chris was in MXPX for a minute, or the MXPX All Stars. Like at the time, I was kind of didn't know fully what was going on with the band. Can you clarify, like,
Yeah.
what was MXPX All Stars? I remember seeing like a photo or something online back in the day, and I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, oh, it's a new lineup, but with Mike still. Like, so I know you guys and the Ataris have a long history together.
Yeah, I think it was probably around 2010-ish or something. I had been doing
Yeah.
Tumbledown for a while, which was my other band
Yep.
that I did. And so MXPX was doing maybe one show a year for like a couple years. And then
Mhm.
we had some shows booked, and then Tom and Yuri they couldn't do it all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, should we just cancel it? Or they're like, well, if you can find somebody to fill in, go ahead. And so that they kind of gave me the permission, I guess,
Okay.
and so I just had some friends. I was like, well, let's Chris Rowe, he's in we'll have the Ataris play. I'll play in the Ataris. So we literally made like an all-star MXPX band, but also kind of an all-star Ataris.
Yeah.
We were in Australia
Yeah.
doing Soundwave Festival. And
Mhm.
so I played bass for the Ataris for their set.
Okay.
And then Chris played guitar for MXPX for our set. And it was sort of a darker time in music. Streaming wasn't happening yet.
Yep.
Royalty checks were way down because of Napster, and nobody was buying CDs anymore. So it was very volatile, and that affected live music and promoters. A lot of promoters were getting out of the business, losing tons of money. So it was really volatile at that time. And the MXPX All Stars just kind of helped bridge the gap between the unknown of,
Okay.
geez, this could possibly fail. Like we could just maybe not even be a band anymore.
Okay.
Or we could, little did I know, we should have just taken a break for a while. That could have worked too. But you're living life, and you got things to do. You got to feed the family. You got to do. So I had to be out there doing something.
Mhm.
So yeah, MXPX All Stars. I kind of look back on it as a cool little era of MXPX that was kind of wild that it actually happened. You look back on the history books. Sometimes you read stories about how wars started, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, and you're just like, that's kind of unbelievable that's part of the history of our planet. But same with MXPX. The MXPX All Stars is an unbelievable part of the history, where we did, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 tours without Tom and Yuri. and then,
Yeah.
and finally, then they came back. And then once Tom and Yuri came back, it just skyrocketed. It was like we were kind of like holding court in a
Yeah.
way for a while, keeping the lights on. And then Tom and Yuri came back. We could really kind of like regroup, reconnect,
Mm-hmm.
and things were just better than ever. And that's where we're at today. We've put out a couple albums,
Yep.
self-titled in 2018. We put out Find a Way Home in 2023. And we're working on the third album in that sort of new era trilogy right now. We'll have new music coming hopefully this summer, but sometime later this year for sure.
Absolutely. I was about to ask for new music as well. I heard that's coming up. So very thankful for to hear that. So is when Tom and Yuri came back in the band, I've noticed in the last couple of years now, it's been kind of like, I don't know what's the right word for it. Like kind of like a condensed tour schedule now. It's almost like you come into an area, region of the US or Canada, play 2 shows, Friday, Saturday, then, go back home, then do it again the following weekend, or maybe take a couple weeks off, come back and play another area. I know like in a couple months, you're going to do like the East Coast, but you're going to do 4 shows in a row. But is that in part to kind of because of Tom and Yuri are working full-time elsewhere? So it's like to kind of work with their work schedules?
No, it's actually more because Yuri and I have young kids.
Okay.
And so we just didn't want to, because those guys can take off whenever they want, as evidenced by they're constantly gone. Like our schedule is insane right now. But yeah, it's actually, it was really nice to not have to be out for months. Because right when I had my first kid, I was touring all the time still, and gone for a month, back for a month, gone for a month. It was just wild. And so as we were able to just do, we can just do weekends, we just kept doing that because it was successful. And it was like, why would we need to be out on a Monday, Tuesday, making no money when all the money, is to be made on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. And it's just because attendance, people's schedules, people's work schedules, whatever, they'd rather see a show on a Friday or a Saturday. And hey, we go where the people are, right? But at the same time, we will still, I'm sure, do full tours and are planning to do full tours in the future. And then we'll be back on those Mondays. Maybe the Monday will be a day off. I don't know. But we'll be doing a lot more. And we're kind of ramping up, like you said, like 4 shows. And then does that turn to 6 shows in a row? And then we're going to do like 10 days and then 2 weeks. So just, it's crazy.
Well, the alternative that you guys have been doing, and I want to give you guys credit, are these live streams, which I tell you, man, back in, what was the first one? In 2020, when shutdown first happened, the pandemic, like those first streams you guys used to do, thank you. It just obviously kept me entertained watching from home on my computer. And you guys still do it. You just did one about 3 weeks ago for Christmas time, like the annual Christmas show. Whose idea was it to start doing these live streams for the people? And I love like the background, your setup has like changed over the years and just more like lights and all that stuff, the decor. But yeah, where did the live stream idea come from?
I'm gonna have to credit our manager, Tom Chichilla. He, we were talking in 2020 when everything shut down. We had done our last show in San Antonio. We actually recorded a live record from San Antonio. It's out. But that was the last show we did. And then the whole world shut down for COVID. And I was just on the phone with Tom all the time. Like we were just talking all the time. There's nothing else to do. So we just talk every day or whatever, at night or whatever. And we come up with ideas. And we started coming up with the live stream ideas. So we started doing it acoustic, where I was just up there every couple of days, acoustic. And then the idea was like, what if we did this full band? What do we got to get? And I started just researching live streaming, all the equipment you need. Like I literally here in Bremerton, we came here and I just spent months building like a little punk TV studio. It's not like top of the line, everything with all the lights and the scaffolding or whatever, but it's just our studio here. But we got what we needed, and we got some cameras, and man, I got to tell you, that was huge for us. That we really grew a ton doing those live streams. And we didn't do it because we wanted to grow as a band. We did it because we wanted to be a band. We're a band. We got to do something. We got to play. So, it's not about the business or this or that. It was just like, man, how do we stay connected with our audience when we can't go out and play shows? And the live stream that was the answer for us. and still doing it now and again, doing it every year for Christmas Eve. It's the eve of Christmas Eve. And I think we'll start doing it again, you know, when we have some new news about the new album and the new songs. Yeah, we'll start getting into that live stream mode.
I will admit, because like, give you credit because you're like you just said, connecting with your audience, and I do want to give you props on like your social media game. Like following you or MXPX, you get the best of both worlds as far as, you know, live footage, photos, podcast highlights. I mean, ever since the San Francisco and the Santa Cruz shows got announced, I see like the sponsored Instagram ads, Facebook ads. You guys are on it as far as promotion, everything. It's where did you learn all this stuff? Because for me, like working in radio, it's like not only can you be a disc jockey, but also you gotta learn how to be a content creator. You gotta podcast, you gotta do Instagram reels, TikTok videos, all this stuff. It's like you have to be, a content creator, not just a radio personality more. That's from my perspective. But you guys have really just nailed this whole social media game, and it's just really fun to watch as a fan. So how'd you learn all this stuff?
I think trial and error for the most part. I mean, honestly, it's like, you know, it's important to stay who you are, keep your identity online. And so we knew that we didn't necessarily want to just start doing skits on TikTok or this or that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we just wanted to do what came more naturally to us. And for us, that was like live clips and clips, you know, of course, my personal stuff. I do a lot of clips from the podcast, but everything we do, we pretty much do ourselves. Like when you see those ads, we're running those ads. We're paying for those ads. And you know, now and again, there's a partnership, of course, with the promoter, Live Nation, or something like that. But I think bands don't realize that it takes so much more of you and yourself and your own personality to really be successful out there online, because it's not like it was back in the day where you get a show, you have your tour, you're good to go. All right, here's all the dates, everybody. I'll see you there. No, we got to do that. That's another reason why it was successful for us to do weekend shows, a Friday, Saturday show, is because we can really focus on these two shows. So Santa Cruz is almost sold out. San Francisco is almost sold out. We've really just been focusing on those two shows for California for the last few months. And then we've got some East Coast shows, but it's like a totally different region, and you can separate the two almost completely in a way. Now, how did we learn? Like I said, trial and error. I would say I am not the person that, full disclosure, I don't know how to run ads. I'm sure I could. I have offered many times to our management, like, hey, if you're overwhelmed, like I know you are, everybody's got too much to do, right? I will help. And they're always like, no, like, we don't want an artist to be part of this whole like scummy backdoor thing. And I get it, you know. So what I do, my contribution obviously is talking and doing the shows, but I also like make the promo videos. So I edit the promo videos and make them, and then I send them to our management, and then we'll post them up and do the ads.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love just like, oh, I'm on Instagram and I'll say, oh, there's Mike right there. Oh, there's Chris, him together promoting Santa Cruz, San Francisco. I'm like, there you go. Very cool. All right, can't wait to see these guys. So with that though, I guess for me, you know, knowing I was going to talk to you, like I was just going back and listening to a lot of stuff, and I always love just MXPX as being authentic, true to your sound. I mean, obviously the early 2000s when you guys were on the major label, you guys, you know, changed the sound a little bit. I think it got a little more mature sounding. Best way to describe it. But you guys always true to who you're. Little slick, but true to who you are. God, there's so many directions I want to go with this. One, did you ever felt pressure to change the sound of MXPX to match the early 2000s mainstream sound at the time? Was there any pressure for that?
Oh yeah, of course. So I don't know. I've told this story like a long time ago. I'm sure it hasn't really made its way to the modern internet, but straight up, Ron Fair, our A&R guy / president of A&M Records at the time that we did Before Everything and After is the album. He was like coming in and he'd get on the piano and tinkle around and be like, ding, 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 ding. What if you guys did something like this, you know? And he really, you know, I really feel like the reason why our song Everything Sucks was our single was because he was like telling us in the studio, like, hey, make this song sound like Jimmy Eat World. The middle was out. It was a big hit. And we're like, that's a great song. We love that song.
Okay.
Yeah, of course we want it to sound like that or whatever. Like, I don't mind sounding like that. But like, it was just kind of like weird that, okay, he's picking this song because it's got some mainstream quality to it. But I really feel like the mistake was not going with our pick, which was Well Adjusted for the first single. It was on a Pepsi commercial, Diet Pepsi commercial. People already knew that beat. We're like poised for it. We're like ready to pounce on this thing. And then he comes back with this radio person, this lady that knows nothing about MXPX, and they're like, it's got to be Everything Sucks. Let's go with that. And so that was something we didn't agree with. Not that we hated the song. I mean, it's our song. We liked the song, but we felt like it was a second single or you know, it wasn't quite what we wanted to lead with. So that was, I think, the biggest amount of pressure that I can think of that we got, and it didn't work out. You know, we ultimately played ball with the company. We're like, okay, I was talking to our manager at the time, Creighton Burke, and he basically was like, yeah, but if we push our single and it doesn't do well, then they're going to be like, it turned out that it didn't matter because the other one was fine. It just didn't do as well as they wanted it to. Didn't do as well as I think Well Adjusted would have been on the Super Bowl commercial. So
gotcha.
Crazy people make crazy decisions.
I know, man. It's, you know, always fun to think back on that stuff. I do admit, like, now just obviously listen to the last couple albums and where you at now as a songwriter and the lyrics and the themes. It's really fascinating because I think when you go from Poking At Ya, Teenage Politics to now self-titled and all that, it's really like, it's kind of trippy to think about. It's almost like it's the life story of Mike Herrera in many ways. It's like following you along through life and like growing with you. Do you ever think about that? Or like, has anyone else, like an outsider, says, I feel like I know you so well because I've been following, if you listen to every album throughout the years, it's almost like it's the Mike Herrera story and like where you are as a person. And it's really trippy to think about like that.
That is wild. Nobody's really mentioned it that way, but thinking back, yeah, that makes sense because the way I write and the way I put things onto paper or whatever, lyrically, I have these little things from my life just pop up, and then that goes into that line, and so, yeah, I mean, I can't help but do that, and I think why. The difference between like writing by committee, you know, when you have like song, because I've written with other people, where I've added lines to a song that was basically already written, that you can still get your personal line in there, but it's just a lot less likely, and it might not make as much sense with everybody else's clever lines. So when you're writing by committee, like Nashville or like LA or you know, fancy music people do, a lot of times. It's just about how clever can you be with your turn of phrase, and you lose some of the deeper meaning or the heart in that, I feel. And so I at the same time, I do edit what I write now more than I ever have. I think by editing, what I mean is I just look back and I think about it and I go, is this what I wanted to say? I just make sure that like, okay, is this what I wanted to say? Rather than, all right, that just came out good. And it might be perfect the way it is, and I don't need to change it. But the difference is I'm at least thinking about it and reviewing it. And I feel like it's just made the song so much more solid lately, the last 5-10 years. But it's all me. You're right. It's all just me growing as a person and as a songwriter, and the guys too. I mean, Tom Ury and Chris now, they always put their mark on it. They put their stamp on it, and they're emotionally invested in the new songs that we put out. So that's the best, you know, when you can have a band that cares. It's not just like, all right, whatever. It's
because I'm also thinking, I guess maybe from the perspective of your own kids, like I wonder, could they sit down and listen to, maybe they have already, like listen to your whole catalog up until this point and be like, wow, I kind of learned Dad from a new angle. I'm just kind of fascinated. And I know your daughter, you know, is starting to get into music. You guys did the No Effects cover last year. So is that kind of been interesting, a perspective of your kids and how they interpret your music?
You know, I've never really asked them what they think about my music. They're
Okay.
fans of the band. They love it. They
Okay.
love punk, and of course they love Dad's band. But I haven't really, like, I don't know, maybe I'm too scared to ask them, like, what do you think about the lyrics? Like, how are you dissecting these things?
Okay.
But I've, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's like I didn't know at the time when I was writing our first album that we were still going to be a band now, you know, and
Mhm.
people in their 50s were going to be listening to, oh, the first punk band I ever listened to was MXPX. And you have no idea at the time. And so I'm just like using these songs, these lyrics, I'm using it as a way to like get out my emotions and get out my complaining, and to, you know, to be elated, to be in love, to do all the emotions that come with being a human, you know. And then later on realizing, oh yeah, people are like taking these things to heart, and they're like
Yeah.
internalizing what I'm writing. So a good example would be, there's a song called For Always on
Yeah.
Slowly Going the Way of the Buffalo. And
One of my favorites. Yes.
at the end I say, honestly not interested, over and over at the end. And I was like, at the time I was just this kid and I didn't know what to write or what to say. And that's why I said, honestly, not interested, like as a joke, a throwaway. But it's weird at 20 years later, or I don't even know how many years later, that line is like, why I am interested. I'm very interested in so many things, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah.
little things like that. And it's a throwaway. It doesn't really matter. And I feel like people get that. Maybe they're not internalizing that, oh, he's not interested in anything. They're not taking it literally, hopefully. But some people do take things literally when you write them. So I learned that over the years, to really pay attention to what you're writing, because people are going to try to get some meaning out of it.
That's fascinating. I'm glad you said For Always. That literally is one of my all-time favorite songs. So
I love
and,
that song still. Yeah.
I love, you know, always that end part, you know, honestly not interested. I've always loved that. I mean, blast that. Man, I know I don't want to keep you too long. There's so much I want to get into, but we'll have to save it for another time at some point. I do want to oh my God. So I had so many questions for this interview. And like I think
Just get it.
I think I over prepared for this interview, honestly, because I was like, I've been like I said, a lucky interview, many bands I grew up loving, everything, but it's like you were like the one. I remember one time, Vans Warped Tour summer 2018, technically the last one was at Shoreline in Mountain View. I was standing outside picking up my credentials, about to do a bunch of interviews backstage and stuff. And I think you were there for Goldfinger, if I remember
Oh
correctly.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But you were like, you walked right by me. You're talking to someone. I was like gonna run up, but I want to tackle you. I'm 6'4". I don't want to like scare you. Like, who the hell is this crazy guy coming after me? But like the one thing though, I just do want to say is like, I just appreciate and respect you guys. Always been consistent. You know who you are. You know what MXPX is all about. You're consistent. The music, the positivity, all that stuff. Like I really do appreciate all that stuff. But I am kind of curious though, will there ever be another Cooties album?
You know, that would be a 1 in a million. I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah,
I
probably.
know.
People ask me about Tumbledown too, and maybe Tumbledown's more likely because it was kind of a more recent thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I saw.
MXPX is so busy right
Yeah.
now. It's just so hard. People ask me to do like acoustic shows like I was doing 10 years ago or so, or
Yeah.
more than 10 years ago at this point. But I will eventually, but like we gotta ride that wave, you know, ride
Yeah.
that wave while it's swelling.
Exactly. And that's thing. I do recommend everyone check out the Mike Herrera podcast, the new video that came out a couple days ago talking about your old bass and like your new bass. But you talk about and then the voicemail segment, you do talk about, someone asked about Tumbledown and the state of that. So I definitely recommend checking that out. I was going to ask real quick. So are you like the #1 spokesperson for Ernie Ball Sterling basses now? Like, honestly, okay.
Yeah, I guess.
And what? And what's the difference between a Stingray and a Sterling? I'm not a bass player. I don't know. They look the same to me.
Okay, it is the same body. This is a Sterling. This is my new Mike Herrera Artist Series bass, and the price point is obviously the biggest difference. But the body's the same. Some of the hardware is different. Sterling by Music Man, which this is a Sterling by Music Man, is made in Indonesia, and the Ernie balls that I play on stage, the Stingrays, are made in the US. So the price point is like, I think it's over $2,500 for one of my Artist Series that are made in the US. These are like $499 or something like, or something like that. So these just came out a couple months ago, and man, people are just loving this thing. It's orange. This is, the Find a Way Home orange.
Yeah.
I love. But that's the main difference. This one actually has a volume knob.
Yes.
That works, and these tone knobs don't work. But on my American-made ones I play on stage, the volume knob doesn't work either. It's just from the jack pickup, and that's it. That way I can mute it on my pedal.
Yeah.
But I can throw the bass all over the place, and it's not going to change the sound at all. And that's why I do it. It's not for everybody. Some people are like, that's so stupid. You don't have knobs that work. It's like, actually, it's a choice, but you do you, and I'm going to keep doing me.
Okay. No, it's great to hear, because like literally my friends in the local music scene who have like a Stingray or Sterling bass, I'm always like, oh, that's the Mike Herrera bass. And we're all like, yeah, that's the one. So it's like, you really have like become like the number one spokesperson for that type of bass, the model. So I always think it's just really cool. A couple more real quick. I just want to ask thoughts on the current state of punk rock. I asked that because I was at the Aftershock Festival back in October up in Sacramento. That's where I got to meet Mike Davenport of the Ataris. We had a great interview up there. Great guy. But that weekend, there was a lot of like punk rock bands and alternative bands. I mean, obviously the Ataris, Good Charlotte was up there. Derek from Sum 41 made a guest appearance. The Ataris were out. The Ataris, but All American Rejects. Who am I missing? There was a bunch of bands. State Champs was playing. I feel like there's like this, I don't want to say revival, but like punk rock seems to be really cool right now. Do you notice that too? Are you in on that? Like your kind of thoughts on the state of punk rock, pop punk right now?
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. And the funny thing is, maybe it's social media, maybe it's just clips are getting out there. You've seen Simple Plan really blow up so big on socials. They've been doing it, on TikTok and all over the world. They're touring and have huge shows. So yeah, I think just after a while, if you don't quit, things grow, right? Like if it's good, if it's actually good, it will grow if you don't quit. It's everything goes up and down, right? So right now we're kind of on our way up, and in 20 years, you're going to be like, there's going to be people going, man, when I grew up, the way we found music was so good. Now it sucks, but we used to find music on TikTok. You know what I mean?
I didn't even think about that. That is true. Like in 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yeah. So it all just is cyclical, and people find their own way. But I think punk rock is going to be here. Yes, it's always been corporate in some ways once it got really big. But I feel like if a band is good, a band is good. Green Day blew up back in the day, and The Offspring blew up back in the day, and it really has helped all us bands, Good Charlotte, Newfound Glory, MXPX. We've all sort of like made careers out of just playing this punk rock music, and it's been insane. So we don't, I just appreciate anybody out there that listens to my band, MXPX, and I'll go through the airport, people will stop me and take pictures. Some guy on the flight, it happens all the time, more and more. It's crazy.
Run you over at Shoreline in Mountain View.
Yeah.
I should have done that. No, real quick, I wanted to ask before I forget, I mentioned this earlier, thoughts on the Bay Area punk scene. Obviously Lookout Records, Gilman, that music scene back in the day. Obviously me growing up, Green Day, Rancid, Operation Ivy, AFI, all that stuff. I was kind of curious, did that have any influence for you guys up north? Did the music get up there as much back in the day? Like kind of just influence the Bay Area punk scene?
You know, I was hugely influenced by the Bay Area punk scene because we were from a small town, so it was just like we would latch on to record labels. So I latched on to Lookout Records.
Yeah.
Everything they put out, we were into. The Queers. You know, it wasn't always, the bands weren't necessarily always from the Bay Area, but
Mr. T Experience,
Green Day, Op Ivy, Rancid, of course, Mr. T Experience, but Screeching Weasel, all those bands, I loved all of them. And then Fat Records, that was a whole, that's not the Bay Area, but they were from the Bay Area, right? That really informed like what also the style of music that we kind of wanted to play. All right, let's, we're doing the right thing. Let's just get melodic or whatever, it's wild, man. It's wild. The Bay Area has been so good to us. And I think honestly, the reason why we haven't been back in so long is because of probably corporations, to be honest. I hate to be a punker and be like, the corporation, but like it got so corporate in San Francisco that the costs and everything were so wacky. They probably still are wacky. But we figured out a way to come and do shows. So we're coming. But
I mean, I think the Bay Area, San Francisco, it's one of, if not the most expensive area to live in now. It is tough. I mean, so for everyone, just the cost of living is a lot right now. It is tough. So I do appreciate when you guys are able to make it and gonna live, have a lot of fun there. I do want to ask real quick. So my buddy Miggs from 99.9 KSW, he told me to ask about his barbecue merch. His steak seasoning is the best. I use it all the time. Also, he loves the Kraken. I'm a San Jose Sharks fan, and so I know you're a hockey fan. But I need to try some of this seasoning apparently.
Yes, you do, dude. I just happen to have it right here.
What?
I had it on my desk because I love this seasoning too. It is so good. Like you can put it on anything. It's MXPX Steaks Will Be Made seasoning, and we've got like burger squares and tongs. We did it. We went crazy this summer. Summer 2025. We like put out a bunch of grill merch. And us, when we kind of have an idea, we go full on with it. And MXPX.com,
Okay, I'll have to get some of that then. My brother's a chef. He's a professional chef, so I'll have to get that for him. Man, listen, Mike, listen, I can't thank you so enough for making the time. Last question. My coworker Chasta, our boss, our program director, she always ends our interviews with a question from the movie Almost Famous, which I don't know if you remember from back in the day.
Of course.
Last question from that scene in the movie was, what do you love about music? So Mike Herrera from MXPX, what do you love about music?
I love that it can take you to a place, that you couldn't get any other way, So I grew up just music on my headphones, just being transported. And I feel like music is so special where maybe the very best of cinema can really move you. Yep. But even a bad song, even a song that was recorded in your garage can really just hit you. Like if you hit that right melody, that right lyric, that right beat, it doesn't matter what it sounds like. That's music. Music can transcend anything, quality, whatever. If it's good, it's good. It doesn't matter. And that's what I found about music. It's almost like if it's too good, it's not good in some ways. Like you can almost like ruin music, but just music comes from the heart. And when you get it right, it translates to everybody that needs to hear it.
Man, so good. Goosebumps listening to that. Mike, listen, like I said, can't thank you enough. I hope one request besides no Seahawks gear this weekend. The other request, I would love to like re-meet you in person so we can get an updated photo together. I know we have different hairdos now, but I would love to get an updated photo of you and I.
No problem. I'll get you passes so you can come back and say what's up.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Thank you. And then yes, I encourage everyone, get your last minute tickets as I've been emailed multiple times this morning from your manager. Very low tickets right now for both shows. So MXPX and the Ataris are going to be at the Catalyst Club in Santa Cruz this Friday, January 23rd. And then the next night, they're going to be at the Fillmore in San Francisco, Saturday, January 24th. MXPX.com for everything. As we said, tickets, merch, barbecue, seasoning, steak seasoning. Check out the latest album, Find a Way Home. That's out now, streaming. stream MXPX wherever you can. The merch arsenal that's up there as well. Everything MXPX. And then, yeah, man, is there anything else I'm missing right now to promote for you guys? Is there?
Dude, I mean, no, you covered it. We're out there. We're working. If you want to come see us live, just go check out the site. If you want some, it's all there. MXPX.com. I appreciate you, and you know, you're doing your thing every day on the radio, and we're out there doing our thing too. So I appreciate everybody.
Awesome, Mike. Well, have a great day, and I'll see you this weekend. Thank you.
We'll see you soon, sooner than you think. Cheers, y'all. Have a good one.